We're delighted now to be joined from Durham School Services, Greg Campbell. Greg, good morning. Welcome to the Splash.
Well, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. I gave you all of like 2 minutes notice before having you on, so I appreciate you taking a minute or two for us. So I got up this morning and looked out my window, and it wasn't just foggy. It was like that really dense fog that you know is going to slow everything down and make things a little bit more hazardous as we go out in the morning. And I was thinking, well, you've got really dense fog. Daylight savings time has not changed, so it's still dark. We got the kids going to school. That is a combination that requires everyone driving to work, many of us a little late, to be very, very careful. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. Whenever I share tidbits with our drivers, I remind them don't drive past your headlights. You can only see as far as your headlights take you. And so you have to slow down to accommodate that. Um, and speed just kills. You cannot speed, especially in this dense fog. Uh, Take it easy. Low beams, because high beams will only blind everybody. It creates such reflection. So low beam headlights, don't drive past your headlights. Take it slow and easy. Once late, stay late. You just can't make up time in weather like this.
No, and the white headlights on our vehicles, they pierce through the fog a little bit better than those yellow blinking lights and the red blinking lights too in the school buses that, of course, all of people watching right now slow down and stop when they see those. So you got to be extra careful. And wherever all those lights are flashing, you know there's some kids walking around, and they may not be as conscious, especially the younger ones, about what's going on a foggy day. They just it doesn't probably enter their frame of thought.
And it's extremely important, as you say, when these amber lights are flashing on the top of a school bus, that bus is coming to a stop. And and in just a second, when that bus makes that complete stop, those lights are going red. And that's when all traffic needs to stop 20 feet behind the bus, 20 feet in front of the bus, leaving room for kids to cross in front of the bus. And I appreciate being here today because I also want to take a second to talk about hazard light stops. Not every school district in the state follows this, but the law allows for hazard light stops. You know, your turn signals running in conjunction with each other. So we're talking about the lower portion of the school bus having the hazard lights on. We do school bus stops with just hazard lights. But what that means is there are no kids crossing the bus, and we have to meet certain speed limit parameters, and we have to get as far to the right of the road. But if you approach a school bus that has just its hazard lights on, you may safely continue around that bus. But if you see the amber lights on top flashing, that bus is getting ready to stop. And when it does, they're going to turn red. So treat that as you would a yellow traffic
Well,
light ready to
I,
stop.
I'm really glad, Greg, that we had you on because I got to admit, when I see a school bus on the side of the road with just the emergency flashers, I just assume the bus driver's having a cup of coffee. So that's
Sometimes
certainly
they are.
right. Okay. Well, that's just fine. I've got my coffee right here, so I get it. But that is really great information. And then the other thing, I mean, look, let's be honest. We're in a hurry. It's the daytime. It's not school bus time. We're coming up to a light, and it's yellow, and we might want to rush through that light before it turns red. That is just the absolute most terrible thing you can do when those amber lights are flashing in a school bus. That, as far as I'm concerned, I grew up in the day when we didn't have those, you know.
Right.
So when you see those, start putting your brakes on and stop because, as far as people driving should be concerned, that you can't be skirting around a school bus at the last second, not knowing when they're going to go red.
And that child crossing could be your grandchild, could be your neighbor's child. We got kindergartners, we've got first graders, we've got all ages crossing in front of a school bus. It's always dangerous, and so drivers are quick to make sure that everything is safe and everybody's stopped. Then you get that last minute motorist that's in a hurry, beep beep, and they want to go around you. They can't. And one thing I love about this location and this community is our police department. If we get a plate, which we always do, they issue a citation. It's $500 for running the reds of a school bus, and it's points on your license. It's something that is taken very seriously in this community. So please stop. for those red flashing lights on these school buses.
Well, and then let's take it another level because it is a challenge, especially tomorrow will be the last day. It's going to be dark again during prime time when the kids are loading on the bus because we are going to go into daylight savings time this weekend, but it's very dark in the morning. And there could be a bunch of students waiting off the side of the road, and the school bus might not even be there yet. And so you should, I mean, if you're driving in between 6:30-ish in the morning till 9:30 in the morning, especially on a foggy day, you got to know there's going to be kids standing there waiting for the bus along your route.
And not all kids stand in single file lines and watch what's going on. So, yeah, kids tend to play at the bus stop a little bit, and especially when the snow falls and the first snowballs they throw, and just horseplay. We do try to lasso that in, but kids are kids. So, yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, Dave. When you're driving down the road, and especially in conditions like this, be mindful of students standing at corners waiting for those school buses.
All right, Greg, we could do this for an hour, and let's do that on another day. It takes some more time. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much for making yourself available on this foggy day in West Bloomfield, and thanks for all you do to get our students in the West Bloomfield School District and the other school districts where you work to school safely. Good to be with you.
I appreciate the time today.